It's Funky Friday. Welcome, everyone. We're going to do a little Latin flavor since we all just came off of Cinco de Mayo. Happy to have you here with us. We have Darren Kramer, special guest. Hope you enjoy. This is called Quench.
Quench. My thirst, baby, got to get inside me. Quench. My life spot, don't stop. Earning, yearning for my love. That's why I desire. These dots were quick to put out the fire. And I'm falling in a trench, cause I got me trench. Just quench. I'm so thirsty, just quench. I'm so thirsty, want you to feel it. Put out the fire, now throw me in a trench, cause I gotta get drenched, just...
Moi je rêve en cascade. Je passe.
Man, it's hot. Burning, yearning for my love to buy.
J'ai très chaud. Bon, moi.
Quench my heart desires.
Estoy muy seca. Quiero estar mojada. Llévame a tu fuente.
You better douse me quick and put out the fire.
We're gonna get weird now. Oh yeah, and I brought surprises. Yeah, we're not doing Corona. No Corona.
Yeah, well, for you, my friend. Man, that's good. Now throw me in a trench, cause I gotta get drenched, just quench. I'm so thirsty, just quench. I'm so thirsty, won't you please stop running? From my love. Desires, please stop me quick to put out that fire. Now throw me in a trench, cause I gotta get drenched. Please stop me quick, I gotta stop the stench. I'm so damn thirsty, I gotta mention Quench.
All right.
That's actually on the track. How is everybody? Did you go get a beverage? We're here every Friday, 5 o'clock. We're doing a special edition. Don's the first guest. I don't know if that's good or bad. Yeah, we're going to play some original tunes of mine. Router through my fun rig here, Ableton Live, and all kinds of stuff. So we're going to feature her on the Flugelhorn. Wait, it's not a German holiday we just passed. This is called Signing for a Taste. right. All right. Got numerous cameras happening today. I'm trying to expand my horizons. It's a lot going on now. Somehow we don't have Dawn. Hold on. Got to put her through channel 4. Check. There she is.
Test.
There you are. How are you, Dawn?
I'm good.
Let me set this baby down.
Watching the magic behind the curtain.
There's all kinds of stuff going on in here.
Yeah, it's very technical.
My God. Music's fun, but music's difficult.
Yeah.
This stuff's been challenging. I've been into the technology thing for years, but the live stream is a whole nother bag, and got all kinds of things happening here. And you just see our happy little faces and our trumpets and trombones. Yippee! Okay, wait. We might need a little more juice on Dawn, so you guys let us know if you're hearing enough. Let's hear it.
Check.
Oh yeah, you're there.
Hello.
Okay, if people don't know what's happening, this is what's happening. Darren Kramer's my sister, and we've played together all over the place for most of our lives. So I thought, what a better, perfect first guest artist here for my Funky Fridays. So, tell the peeps who you are and what you've been doing.
Well, for the last 2 months, I haven't been doing much.
Let's drink to that. Okay. Let's quench. Okay.
But yeah, it's been kind of an interesting little time period here.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was kind of a nice goal to have, to make sure I am keeping my chops in shape and doing that kind of thing. And I've been doing some random recording for a couple different projects. One is the 5 Points Jazz Festival that's coming up there. It was supposed to be obviously a live thing on the 16th, next Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
But they've asked a couple people to just send in videos, so they did like a virtual. I was part of Ben Markley's big band, so there's going to be, I think, like 18 of us that they all put together. Colin Bricker did it. So that's going to air on PBS, I think, next Saturday, 6 to 8 or something. So there'll be a lot of good jazz that we would have been able to see live, but
yeah,
at least it's still happening, so that's cool.
And we were supposed to do the ElektroHornz thing for 5 Points.
Yes.
And so I haven't looked into any of that. Maybe we could put something together in the next.
Yeah.
So this stuff we just heard us just play is DKO ElektroHornz. I've had a band called DKO for 20 years, and 10-piece live band. But then I've been so into this electric trombone thing, I thought I'd add just 4 horns to this setup. So the horns you were hearing there are from these new remixes, and then I have a whole bunch of new songs in the pipeline. But we were so excited to be playing May 16th, late night at the 715 Club, and now it's not happening. But we're here now. That's all that matters.
Yes.
So people always seem to think, I don't know why, but they think we're weird.
They think you're weird. They think I'm weird for hanging out with you.
Well,
Let's
both
make
are
it
probably true.
distinguished.
So why? I mean, we don't really talk about it that much. We just do it, But so, why has it happened?
Us playing together?
Yeah. Like, what have we played together? Tell them.
Boy, a lot of stuff. We played in high school and everything together, and then we've done cruise ships together, and he's subbed a couple of times with some of the groups that I play in, called Mont Alto Motion Picture Orchestra. We do live soundtracks for the original silent movies back from the teens and 20s. 19 teens and 1920s. And so, yeah, he's played with some of that stuff, and it's just been a whole variety of things. But yeah, this is certainly some of my favorite kind of music, just funk, horn band things. Grew up, I think my first concert, well, I don't know that that's true. I think my first concert was David Sanborn at Red Rocks, but then we went to Chicago and a bunch of things like that too, and it's always just been a huge passion of mine. So I'm happy that he writes music because I don't. But so I'm
Yeah.
always super excited when he writes good horn lines because it just makes it so much fun.
Yeah, it's so weird. I mean, we're not that different, I don't think, than a lot of horn players where you're just, it's in your, it's at the top of your brain. Is that, you know, you sit there and play in a big band for this many years, you're thinking about horns. So then when you hear that on a Dave Matthews tune or some sort of Macy Gray thing or something, you know, back in the day, it's like, wow, they have horns. It's like you're sort of light up, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so we've always just kind of liked Earth, Wind, and Fire and Chicago and
I
Tower
mean, and
Power.
it's interesting because, yeah, those are the big horn bands and those are huge, but then it is nice to see other pop artists come along that really highlight horns. And really, Prince is probably one of our favorites.
Yeah.
Super features the horn section. And Bruno Mars now. So that's fun stuff.
It is.
Yeah, so.
But so a lot of people are always, you know, it's normal to me because we've just played music, but Catherine, who's been chiming in on all of the Funky Fridays and Sonic Tonics, she was wondering, like, how does Dawn deal with the, you know, in the jazz world and especially in the salsa world, it's not normal to see a girl trumpet player back there. And how's it been for you?
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of one of those things. I've gotten so used to it. So it doesn't surprise me when people point me out or like when they come up and make a comment. And honestly, I don't totally mind when people come up and say, oh, it's so great to see a female trumpet player. Like that's okay because I think it is too when I see it because it still is a rare thing, which is really weird to me because I teach I have private students and I teach anywhere from middle school to high school, and there's a lot of female trumpet players that I've taught over the years. And then for some reason, it kind of drops off a little bit in college, and then it definitely does in the professional world. So it's like, it's still a really rare thing. So I get that it's like, I'm kind of an eyesore for lack of a better word.
Self-promotion, yes.
But I mean, yeah, it's just one of those things. And I feel I kind of was prepared for it growing up with two older brothers. I'm the youngest. And so I've just been sort of inundated in males. Like I think, you know, so I'm kind of used to being able to handle myself. And some would say I'm probably more crude than most of my male friends.
It's just like we kind of, you're just one of the gang.
Yeah.
That tune Quench is a song I wrote years ago, but I wanted to combine salsa with kind of the funk thing. And I love salsa. I went to Miami for college, and then Don's 2 years younger. So then I would always kind of go, hey, man, have you checked out Eddie Palmieri? Do you know this stuff? So then she'd be like, oh, my God, that's so cool. So then we started playing in some bands together. I was in Las Vegas, and then there was this new band that started, Tropical Splash. So they said, oh, we need some players. And, of course, there's lots of great people in Vegas. I lived there 4 years. I have lots of great friends there. But I was saying, hey, Don, you want to come out and live in Vegas for 6 months and play 3 nights a week? The Gold Coast with Tropical Splash. And so it's all like 11 guys and Dawn on stage. And it's just normal, though.
Yeah.
I mean, no one like I guess a lot of people would ask, do you get hassled? Is it weird?
I mean, certainly, yes, I get hassled more than a man would. There's no doubt about it. Does it bother me? I don't think I can let it. You know, it's just one of those things. And generally, it's not, like I said, it's not mean-spirited. There's been a couple, and I will leave those people nameless, but there have been a few people in the recent years still that make comments that it just blows my mind. But mostly I just don't get offended, and most of it's not mean. You know, it's like,
no,
just
they're
what it
they're
is.
surprised, and you can take it as offense, like, what? Why can't I do it? Or, oh, wow, I'm glad I surprised you tonight,
Yeah.
and I'm playing.
But yeah, I mean, because of of course girls play trumpet. I mean, there's nothing about any of our faces that are different. I mean, it's
Well,
just
you didn't
is
wear any
ridiculous.
lipstick today.
That is true. I cannot wear lipstick when I'm playing.
Because Julie, my girlfriend Julie said here, what is it like being in these bands with mostly guys? And so it's not really that, because in the brass players, jazz, salsa, funk guys, they're just funny and awesome,
They're
right?
super funny. And I mean, that's the thing. I mean, most of you probably do know me, and I like to laugh. So it's just sort of, it works well for me. I mean, and a lot of them, I think, kind of treat me sisterly anyway. And so I like in the salsa band, I play with Conjunto Colores here in Denver. And I definitely feel like those guys are just my family. They're always looking out for me. So it's not and not looking out for me like I need to be looked out for, but they're just being kind like they would to anybody else. So it's not, I don't know, it's not a thing.
And so one thing, we both teach lessons. By the way, if you need to get in touch with Dawn, what's the best way?
Probably Facebook.
Yeah.
I can either send me a message or, and I can give you my cell phone or.
And you've taught
email.
in person quite a bit, but now you've just been thrown into this Zoom thing. And how's that feel?
It's not that fun. I don't have that many students. I usually have like 8 or so right now, but so it's dropped down to about 4 that I'm doing online. And Zoom is not great for trumpet sounds, that's for sure. Especially, I mean, I don't have equipment like this either upstairs where I teach. So I'm just doing it on my phone, and most of my students are as well. So it's just kind of, it's what you get. So I'm actually having them record for me quite a bit and send me stuff through email so that I can kind of listen to them and beforehand, and then we critique it at the lesson, or I'll send them notes, through the email. But I'm glad it's happening. Like, that's literally my only means of income right now, for one thing. But also I love seeing them, and several of them are seniors, which is just heartbreaking that they, like, so many things changed for them. Their senior trips got canceled, and so I'm happy that at least we get to still have our lessons, and that at least is sort of normal-ish.
It is. And after all these years of playing, I think we both think it's rare to run across a lot of brass players that have that core quality thing, because it's so demanding, right? And it takes so much discipline and consistency. So what are like the top 3 or 4 things that you would recommend for people, or that you concentrate on as a brass player?
Because I think that's been the biggest thing. And if I had to go to a gig tonight, it would not feel good, because it's just completely different playing, even though I have been practicing. But so I would say long tones. I do the same warm up every day. Like, everyone knows what my warm up is if you've heard me warm up. It's just, it's not very long. It just gets to the point, but then I can kind of assess how I feel. And then it's like, if I need to do more long tones, then I do that. But during this time, I'm trying to just do stuff that makes me happy. So I'm.
What the hell are you doing down here?
I know, exactly. Present situation excluded. So I do a lot of sight reading. I love to sight read, and I just got a new Bob Mintzer book, play along thing it just came yesterday, so I read through a few of those today, and it's just, that to me is fun, and that's a fun way to keep my chops in shape, so I always recommend that. Not to mention, then that's like because he and I do a lot of recording together, sight reading is really number one.
Yeah.
Like, you go into a studio, you generally don't have the music ahead of time, and you just go in and play it, and that's that. So I like to practice sight reading.
That's funny you said Bob Mintzer, because I also just kind of vamped my virtual jazz camp on DKO lessons, and used the Bob Mintzer Big Band Play Along, which has 10 songs in it with the music, and you can play your second trumpet part and mute the actual play along second trumpet, so then you're just added into this great LA band,
That's an app.
It's an app, yeah. But and within the virtual jazz camp, it lets you kind of walk you through how to use the app and stuff. So if you're looking for somewhere to play, and we're all kind of stuck at home, check that out. And then we're going to play here in a second. I just want to then also ask. I've been lucky enough to play in one of the groups that Don's been in for like 12 or 14 years called the Mont Alto Motion Picture Orchestra. And it's this awesome 5-piece live band that plays with old Buster Keaton black and white movies. So silent movies with live musicians playing along with it. And these guys are world class. I mean, so I've gotten to play with them a few times, and going and sitting in there, they have it dialed in how they're doing this thing, and they're so comfortable with each other. And Dawn's really good friend, Britt Swenson, is playing violin there, so there she has little female cohorts. But man, these 5 people are hilarious, smart, nice, and super talented. So tell me something more about them.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite outlets of playing music, because it's, so he mentioned Buster Keaton. It's also, we definitely do some of the comedies. I think that's what people think of for that time period, which they're funny, and I love playing for those too. But there's a lot of dramas, and Rodney Sauer is the leader and the person that has put all the music together for it, and he is world class in putting soundtracks together. So it's just beautiful scores that just have such a wide range of styles and genres, and that's my thing. That's what I like to do. Like, if I think I started out thinking I was going to be a classical player, but that's just one little avenue that I do. I like to play in small groups. I like doing the chamber ensemble thing. I like playing jazz. I like just more intimate settings, I think, is more my...
Yeah, big band's cool, right? And like real hard hitting salsa. But there is this thing about this kind of sensitive thing, and everyone always talks about your tone and how full and clean it is. But then there's the articulation and the intonation, right? It's all together. So that's a perfect segue for this next tune. And you're gonna, pull out that huge trumpet again. Tell them what that is.
This is a Flugelhorn. Again, one of my favorite things that I do, I play with the Boulder Brass, and Mike Allen is a great arranger for that group. It's just an 11-piece brass group, and he writes a lot of stuff for me to play on Flugelhorn. It's 4 trumpets, so it's, it kind of covers the gamut. So there's a lot of high piccolo stuff and E-flat trumpet, and I generally play the Flugelhorn parts, and I love it. It's it's kind of a perfect combination of mellow, bordering on like French horn trombone sound. And so like when Darren and I play our like anything unison together with Flugelhorn and trombone, it's magic. It's really great.
It is awesome. And I got that from Jerry Hay, really. It's like on all that Al Jarreau stuff, low Flugelhorn with kind of medium high trombone. It's on a perfect unison. It's just like the most fun thing to play.
It really is.
So that affected me in writing this tune. So I have a tune called Hebridean Afterglow that's part of my Water of Life suite. 4 movements of my favorite Scotch distilleries. So we've been playing that for years, but I kind of put some weird stuff, a 5/8 kind of hiccup bar in there, and it was I don't know, it's just a little left of, and then every time we'd play it, I go, man, this is really calling for just being a straight ahead, awesome R&B ballad. So I finally have gotten a track together, and I even wrote lyrics for it. We're not going to do that tonight, but I'm super excited, and I'm going to get a gospel choir, and this is really going to be a thing. But it already is really a thing. I'm really proud of this tune. The chord progression is really nice, the way it flows, and it really kind of expands. And then we're going to feature Dawn on the flugel. Then we're going to play unison. Then I'm going to solo some trombone, and then I'm going to do my vocoder thing. So my mic here, and then I route my sound, my talking voice through the computer and a synthesizer, and then I'm going to play the Ableton Push. And this is a really fun tune. So now I've renamed it called Endless Tears. I hope you like it. And by the way, if you guys like all this information Dawn's given you, contact her on our Facebook page, Dawn Kramer, and give her some love here with the virtual tips. That's going to go to my account, but I promise I'll hand it over to Dawn.
That seems suspect.
So here we go. Endless Tears. Let's get set here. Okay, yeah, we gotta make you sound pretty for the ballad. I'll do my best. Little nice reverb. How about some delay? Yeah. Yeah. That's Darren Kramer. This is Funky Friday. We're
Yes, it is.
having fun here. That's funky but slow. I hope you tolerated that okay. Let's find our faces. This camera. Yeah. Yeah, man. That's my kind of thing.
Yeah,
I dig that. And always kind of going for one song that has a little bit of a slower, more melancholy thing, you know, in kind of the craziness of all the funky, intricate. That gets tiring. That's for your ear and to play, right? This really hard stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, Flugelhorn. If you're not a fan, that's funny because that's also a good segue. Is that one of our coolest gigs we've done together was touring with Matchbox 20, Rob Thomas, for a year back in 2001 for their Mad Season tour. They had put some horns on the album, and then they decided, man, we're going to tour with horns, you know? So it was super cool. I got called by Matt Serletic, who was my roommate in University of Miami, and Matt's a great musician and producer, and he's big time. And anyway, he's been the producer for Matchbox 20 since really their inception, and then also was the reason for that whole smooth thing, you know, Rob Thomas and Santana and Aerosmith, you know, Diane Warren tunes and all this stuff. And so anyway, it was really a cool thing. What did you think of it?
That was, yes. I would say that was kind of on my bucket list of things that I wanted to do was just play for huge audiences. Because, I mean, let's be honest. A lot of my gigs are not that way.
Yeah.
I mean, I play, some shows and stuff, and that's a couple thousand, but they were giant arenas with Matchbox 20. So that part is just invigorating. That's super fun. And the guys in the band were awesome. Rob Thomas is like top notch, super talented.
Yeah.
Night in, every night he sounded great, singing and plays piano. And so that part was great. And we traveled all over the place. We went to all over the US, UK, Canada, and Australia, which I'm still wanting to go back there. But yeah, we spent 3 weeks in Australia, and it's just, for us, it wasn't a very rigorous schedule, I would say. It was a lot of just fun and a lot of sightseeing and hanging out.
Because I couldn't believe that they had put horns on it on the tour, and literally the most we played was 5 or 6 songs a night.
Yeah.
And they were doing, 25 song sets, and then sprinkled through there was, oh yeah, quick, we got to get backstage and get up there and play this tune. And one of the things that reminded me of that story,
Yes.
was that the Flugelhorn, we ended up playing on David Letterman with Matchbox 20, and their big hit was
Since You've Been Gone.
If You're Gone.
Yeah, sorry.
And so then tell him.
So I love David Letterman, and I still have a crush on him now, even though I don't get to see him every night. But we played on there, and it was a really great experience. Again, I mean, I don't know. I never thought I would actually be in that position. So that was just fun, waiting around, and then it's like we play. And David Letterman's over in his desk, so he's off to the left there, and as soon as we finished, he came on to interview Rob, really. But the first thing that he said was, "Is that a flugelhorn?" And it's all on camera, and it just took me so much by surprise. I just was flustered. But I had been playing flugelhorn, and I was impressed that David Letterman knew what a flugelhorn was.
And you can find that video. I just ran across it a few weeks ago, and because someone had talked about something, and anyway, that video came up. And so, yeah, as soon as he gets off his little stage there, he's like, what happened to the thing? Is that a flugelhorn? And then someone said, yes. And then he goes, you bet it is. I was like, yeah.
Yay.
Yeah, man. And Tonight Show we did, and Rosie O'Donnell, and VH1 Storytellers. If you guys actually like Matchbox 20, that thing is awesome.
So well
live
put together.
video, the way it looks and sounds, and then Rob's talking about each story, about how he wrote a tune and stuff. And it's super quality. So that came out in 01, and it's worth your time, which actually is a good little segue here. I do a cool thing that's similar called Sonic Tonic. I have every Saturday at 5 o'clock. Doing our 5th episode, May 9th. 5 o'clock here in Colorado, and we kind of compare music elements as ingredients to a recipe of a recorded song. And so tune in for that if you want to kind of go deeper and learn more about, maybe what to listen to. And I don't have all the answers. I just like that subject. I find myself talking about that. We talk about that when you're just hanging out.
Yeah.
And if none of you know, I should have gotten a banner for that. She's an insane cook.
Oh.
She is like gourmet to the T, just with vegan and vegetarian meals and stuff, but these desserts are kind of your highlight. Tell them a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I've just always loved to bake, and a couple years ago I decided I'm going to just give it a go and just, super small batch and just do stuff out of the house. So I got certified to do home cooking, and so I do that. I still have it going. I'm not doing a lot right now because it kind of freaks me out with all of the situation of with the COVID. But yeah, it's so much fun. And I have a few recipes that I don't think I'll ever get tired of making. When they're baking, it's just so satisfying to me.
Yeah.
Like I look in the oven and it's just so exciting. So I have 3 things. I would say music, cooking, and animals. And those 3 things are it's great.
Yeah.
So.
You You can't go wrong with
No.
those in your life every day. How do they find it? What, did you tell them the website?
No, so the bakery is called Charelles, Charelles. That's my middle name, actually. Charelles.com. Yeah, and I haven't updated the website in a while, so I don't know that it's going to have like current menu stuff on there, but you can always email me for that too. So if
Yeah.
you're looking for dairy free, especially, but don't be freaked out about that because it's delicious.
No, I'm telling you, that's like a Sonic Tonic thing, and we should do one where we kind of do even a blind test or something, because you get 80% of desserts I ever have in a restaurant or a store look good, and then you're like, and then it's not worth the calories, and I throw it away. So these are like, look really good, and if you just ate them, you'd go, oh my god, I can't have another one, because it's completely full of butter and eggs and everything, and it's not.
No.
You have secrets in there.
That's
And that's why I've done the Sonic Tonic thing, is it's like saying, what makes a Earth, Wind and Fire tune, in my opinion, better than this other thing? And it's because the playing, the real instruments, the intricacy of the rhythms, the improvisation element, the advanced harmony, the singing,
Yeah, the arrangements
vocals.
too, right?
Yeah,
Like it's just
it's all these things. I remember Catherine asking about that, like what makes good music and bad music, and it's all subjective and up to your own opinion. But when you spend a life sitting in the middle of a band, you pay attention to things differently than if you're just driving down the car and you love turning on the radio.
Yeah.
Right. So this is kind of showing you how to go deeper and not just listen to the lyrics, but what's happening over here. And oh wow, there's a tambourine in my head over here, and that stuff's cool to me. And the food is the same, because then when you make something, then it's like, what is that thing in there? And then you always know what it is. Then you're like, oh yeah, put cumin in it. It's like, what? I see that some people ask about the equipment and stuff. You should just know this. I have lessons available at DKO Lessons, but also on this new company called Lesson Squad. And you can sign up and we can be in touch and teach you a Zoom lesson through that. But also, I have all the links to the gear I use. So if you're interested in knowing what mics or equipment, go to lessonsquad.com, Darren Kramer, and check it out.
Yeah, because if one of the things that this week has taught me of like getting ready for this is how much work goes into this. I mean, I don't know anything about. I'm an acoustic instrument. I know how the trumpet works, and it's a whole pitfall of crazy things can go wrong. So you just never know, and you've experienced it. You're so hands-on through all of the projects that you've done. So it's like, of course, it starts kind of getting in your head, and you know it really well.
When something goes wrong, like you just had a thing with your spit valve on your horn too, like you go, wait, something's wrong, and you go, it's probably one of these two things, and then you check it out, and that's how this is. Wait, let me check the routing. But if anyone's interested in learning this stuff, I'm here. So sign up, call me, email me, electrictrombone.com, and let's schedule something and do some lessons, and I can walk you through how I have stuff routed and everything. This live stream thing is a whole nother ball of wax. I've now added this camera that you see us playing, and now we're talking to this one, and then I have a second monitor, and I'm using Ableton Live. I'm an Ableton certified trainer, and then I'm using OBS and this thing called Loopback in the background to make all the audio combine. So I've learned some stuff over the last month. So hit me up, and I'm happy to share. So we should get to a thing. This is Don Kramer, and
yeah, thanks for having me, Darren. This has been fun.
Yeah, this is super fun. We'll do it again. We're gonna do a funky tune that we released on Fat Tuesday. And this should be kind of a get funky, get down, get dirty.
Get fat.
Please take a couple of seconds, go to one of those and send Don some dollars. This is a real gig here. We've rehearsed all week for this. This stuff is not easy. You can hit her up for lessons. And let's see how this feels.
How y'all doing, New Orleans? Yeah!
How you doing?
It's Fat Tuesday.
Yeah, it was. We released this song on Fat Tuesday.
Let's do it!
Yeah. Okay, let's see. I like that. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Get dirty. Get dirty. Show us what you can do. Okay. Jake, you're up there in the stratosphere.
Check, check. No love, Mardi Gras, I can't help but party, y'all. Laissez-faire, throw up your hands in the air. Dance and romance, love at first glance. This is your last chance, bourbon to South France. Culture, fine cuisine. MC pause, ElektroHornz be the team. We celebrate, elevate, never ever hesitate. Put it in your soul, DJ to the
Yeah, man. MC Pause, the local rapper I connected with, and he wrote that rap. Like a half an hour, we recorded it the next day, and anyway, that's called Fat Tuesday. This is a song off our latest releases. This was the first one of the year. Came out on February 1st. Not Far From Here. It's a remix. Wrote new horns, and I knew Don would nail this thing. This is awesome. I love these new horn parts. Anyway, hope you enjoy it. Here's Darrell Bolden.
Do you know that there's a place for us, and it's not too far from here? In this joy and laughter,
Gotta fix my music.